will speak for us. Uriah and Mallory are going to come and speak for us. Thank you for your patience.
Thank you guys for being here. Those of you that don't know who I am, my name's Uriah, Mallory's husband, Preston's brother-in-law, father of Maddox. I have some notes here that I took down. I may not speak as well as others, but I do have some memories and things that I want to share with you guys, so bear with me for a second. Just want to tell you guys what I do know about Preston and the time that we had together. So we all know that he's very intelligent, loving, caring, and giving. Always very helpful and capable person. So whenever I needed to know something in detail, he was my guy. He's the guy I went to. I always enjoyed listening to him explain things. I'd always ask him things just to get him started and get him going, knowing that he would explain it in detail and explain it to the point to where I knew I understood and wanted to know. I'm very good at that. If not, it was always through osmosis because he was talking and it would always go in. Preston was always there for Mallory, no matter what. I knew that if Mallory needed anything, he would be there for her. He was going to be the one that bailed her out of jail. He was going to go get her. Sometimes I would pretend like I didn't even know how to do it, so he would do it. I will miss his helping hands and his brilliant mind, and his ability to make everyone smile. Our story goes back to when Mallory and I started dating. She told me all about her brother. She started to describe what he liked and what he did, riding motorcycles, going to the gun range, the music that she played, the music that he listened to. We all know it's the mid-90s alternative, Blink-182, all of his favorites, Oasis included. When we got together, she described all these characteristics of Preston. I thought, oh my God, that's a perfect fit. Not only do I have a new girlfriend, but I have an awesome new brother-in-law. We got a 2-for-1 deal with that. And I was invited into the family. They took me in. Thank you. Over the years, as we got closer, we had holidays together and vacations. We used to grow up. We'd always have those experiences together. And we went to the beach, and all those times, closer and closer. He was always there for us. And every time I saw him at sidelines or anything, he's always greeting me. He always gave me that half handshake with a pat on the back, and always said, "My brother." I'll always remember that in his greeting. And there's always a smile on his face. I know he worked in the restaurant business, and some of the key phrases that I always remember him, even at the house, he's always telling me, "Behind, Herbert." I hear you behind. He'd always call you back. Always let you know that he was there, always using his terminology. There's so much more I would like to say about him. I know we can't sum it up all today. And I'm not going to try, but thank you guys for your support and everything. And that's it. Thank you very much.
Can you see me? I have 3-inch heels on. Just give me a second, because I really wanted to come up here and see all your faces today and look into your eyes. Bear with me. I wasn't sure if me going last, if it was going to start really put together and then just totally fall apart, but I figured you guys would give me a get out of jail free card. I wanted to share a few memories with you guys. I forgot my notes at home, of course. But firstly, I do want to say thank you. I have had a lot of comfort coming from y'all. I've never done this without Preston, so I'm kind of like a lost puppy right now. Usually he's here, and I can hug him, and he'd give me a kiss and tell me, "I love you, Mal." Well, let me get to some cute happy parts. My first memory of Preston was when we were little, living in California. He had a waterbed. I did not. That was cool. So I would go in and sleep in his bed, and he was always cooler than me. He and I would pretend that our stuffed animals were alive after our parents stuffed us in, and we would play, like, I don't know how long, probably hours after the lights were out, pretending that our little stuffed animals were alive. We also used to think that we were really aliens. This is still back in California, and that those little round flat rocks were gonna fuel our spaceship to get home that we had in our yard. He had a great imagination. Preston and I were each other's rocks. But he really took care of me. He taught me everything I know. I don't know, everything. He was always there to protect me. When we were little, my mom tells a story of us on the playground, and I was too young to talk, just barely walking, I think, and Preston could talk. He talked early, and he saw that another older child was pushing me out of the way from the slide, and he didn't care that that kid was older than him. He went up and said, "Hey, get away, that's my sister." This is probably a 4-year-old. So, Chelsea reminded me of how much he loved me the other day. Best thing I ever did was get Preston into sidelines. When Steve came to me and needed a manager, I knew that I wasn't the right person to take that position. I love bartending too. So I thought, well, my brother, go call my brother, he's perfect. Like Steve said, I don't think he even talked to Preston before he decided that he had the job. And I got to see my brother every day. So that was perfect for me, because I didn't have to send a text. I could just see him in person at work. So whenever I'd go home, he'd always make sure I was safe. And Chelsea sent me a picture of us at 2 a.m. and he's like changing my windshield wipers in the rain because he doesn't want me to drive home with bad windshield wipers all the way to Jasper, and everyone was jealous of our relationship, and I was fine with that. We weren't afraid to show off. I was gonna say when I first came up that usually Preston is the one to stand up here and give words of peace. I was lucky enough to just kind of pick up the strings on the end, but I can't deny that he taught me how to show off and the finest aspects of it. So I'll cherish that part of my personality and think of him. Sarah told me on a message on Facebook, she really hit me. She told me that Preston lived 100 years in 34, and that's so true. He was brilliant. I told Uriah I'm not sure if he was the wisest man because he was such a risk taker, but that was part of him. So that's he was okay with that. That's what he needed to get through. He would always protect me at the bar too. Some people didn't even know we were brother and sister at first, and I know there was one guy that Preston tells these stories way better. I'm not the storyteller; he usually is. He, came up to me and said, "Hey, I think your manager has a crush on you." And I turned to him and I said, "Well, he better love me. I'm his little sister." Because he was so loving to me and he showed me so much outward love, it was obvious. If there was ever a customer that was rude to me, I think that several times I didn't even know what was going on and they were saying something and they were out the door by Preston before I could even figure out what was going on. He's like that with everyone. He's a big brother, naturally. Preston used to, he and I used to, he was a big Marvel, he liked action movies, as our whole family does. And I remember he used to compare us to, and I don't have my notes, so I can't remember their name, but Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch. They're twins. And I don't know if anyone watches Marvel, but that's just the closeness that he felt like we were. So, I don't know, I didn't really want to do this. I don't really want to have to come to terms with not having him, because I planned on it for the next 6 years, to have him there with me, to help me through things and teach me more, because I don't feel like I learned enough. I wish I would have had him explain more stuff instead of being like, you just love to listen to your own voice. But he didn't. I know that luckily he made it known to all of you to keep his legacy alive by loving me. So I'm glad that he set me up for success at least. I'm glad that I don't have any regrets about our relationship, that we were so close. And I want to thank all you guys again for giving us so much love in my family and for coming here today. Thank you.